Hello, hello, hello. Greetings. My name is Khadijah K. Shepherd. I am, oh gosh, it's just so much on my mind. I am a self love coach. I am a domestic violence specialist. I am an author, and the name of my book is Authentically Rich. You can get it from my website, which is www.authenticallyyoursbooks.com. I'm touching base on this is my second video for Jasmine Eiland. This has been really overwhelming. I mean, my stomach has been in knots. It's been difficult to sleep. It's been reaching out to people, getting information, finding out different things. And the first thing I do want to say is to Jasmine that I am sorry. I am truly, truly sorry that you endured what you endured because you didn't deserve that. Nobody deserves that. I tell you like this, and people, I've heard comments that ran the gamut like, oh, it's a scam. I tell you what, if it is a scam, I'd rather be on this side of history. Thank you, Tanya TKO, because she makes a very valid point. I want to stand up for people who are being abused and victimized. I'm not going to defend somebody that I can actually see on camera violating another person, whether it was rape, sexual assault. Well, I'll say sexual assault, definitely, because he was fondling her breasts. Her breasts were out on camera. There's certain things you cannot get around. I don't care how much you try. You can't get around certain facts. The fact is, he did have his hand on her breasts. He was fondling her breasts. Now, he licked his hand, and what he did with the other hand, we know it wasn't a good thing, but we know it was part of a violation. He definitely violated her. We saw her go from bubbly, happy, enjoying her birthday, to after having his drink, to can't stand up, slouching over, can't hold herself up, saying no, 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 stop, 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 help, help, help. I don't know how much more you need from that. But I have a few talking points. And let me just tell you about the information that I did get in regards to who she is. So she is a young woman that's gone without proper guidance, or the proper guidance that she needed. She allegedly grew up in foster homes. She was allegedly raped by her husband. We don't know how true that is. I know they had said something, they were mocking each other. I don't know how true that is, so I'll just say allegedly. She's also allegedly in the process for divorce. She was assaulted on the dance floor. There's no getting around that. The type of assault, there was a sexual assault. If nothing else, he did have her breasts out and he was fondling her breasts. We also know that she had a series of poor choices that led her to be open and to be picked off by a predator. She was possibly drugged, and that was something that came up too. Maybe she drugged herself. And even if she did, let's say hypothetically she decided she wanted to drug herself in the club, does not mean there's grounds for her to be assaulted in any form or fashion. You know, people come up with some of these things, and it's as if you don't act in such a pristine way, that you're not good. You know, your character is no good. Your character is no good. That means you deserve the crime that happened to you. You know, if you have a series of poor choices, you deserve the crime that happened to you. No. You made some really poor choices, but it does not mean you deserve a crime to have happen to you. That's idiotic. I've never heard of anything like that. So if a man goes out and commits a criminal act, ends up in jail, does he deserve to be raped? I mean, the stuff that people say is just, it baffles my mind. It's just the most ignorant, idiotic things that they say, and there's no logic behind it. How is that logical? What does one have to do with the other? You committed a crime, you went to jail, you served your time. Do you deserve to be raped behind that? Absolutely not. But where people get these things from, I have no clue. So I want to shed light on a lot of this stuff that's just wrong. Excuse me. So let's talk about the toxic Black community. We have a tendency to hide predators, hide the abuse, and blame the victims. What are we doing? What are we doing? That's sick. And we wonder why there's so much mental illness in our community, because we have things like this that takes place and we don't address it. We don't address it. We don't fix it. We ignore the problem. We sweep it under the rug. So now your cousin, who everybody said, oh, she just crazy. But why is she crazy? She's crazy because Uncle Johnny had been molesting her since she was 3. And now she's a crackhead. Or now she's on whatever, heroin. She's on whatever to numb the pain of what she went through. It very much reminds me of when, and especially in the 70s, because I know I grew up in the 70s, when a lot of Black men blamed Black women, especially when they lost a lot of their jobs, and they blamed Black women for going out and getting on public assistance and things of that nature. And the sad part about it is, it came down to, I have to take care of my family. I have to take care of my kids. I understand that right now you're on hard times, but hard times are not going to feed us and feed the kids. So it wasn't a matter of so much that women wanted to get rid of their working husbands. They wanted to make sure that they were able to take care of their families. And unfortunately, a lot of Black men ended up on drugs of some sort. And forget the 80s with the crack epidemic. Forget it. But I want to talk about that particular era. So when you have a Black man who can't find jobs and he can't do the things that he needs to do to maintain his family, he's going to take it out on the person who's closest to him, which is usually his Black woman. It's sad, but it's true. Now, in turn, the same thing is being done here, with the exception is he's not blaming the society for keeping him from working. He's taking that frustration out on his Black woman. And the same thing here. No blame for the perpetrator, but you want to blame the victim. The parallel is very similar. Instead of Black men blaming Euro society for him not working, he blames his partner. And instead of people blaming the perpetrator, they would rather blame the victim. Toxic masculinity. And I'm coining a phrase right now. I have to coin this phrase. So if you hear anybody else say it, they got it from me. Toxic female adaptation. I have to talk about toxic female adaptation. Let me tell you about toxic female adaptation. Toxic female adaptation is when women take on the persona of men and take on their ideologies. As wrong as it is, as wrong and strong and ignorant as it is, they take it on. Now, this baffles me because as women, to look at those videos and not want to cry, not to think about yourself, not to empathize, but to say, well, she was there with no drawers on. Who goes to a club with no drawers on? Yeah, that came from a woman. Oh, and, well, why is she up there twerking? If she had respect for herself, she wouldn't have been up there twerking. But let's talk about rape. When it comes down to rape and sexual assault, it doesn't matter what you wear. See, this is how ignorant people are to what rape and sexual assault is about. It's about control and domination. It's about humiliation. It's not even about sex. It's about control and domination, to take advantage of, to make a person feel small and insignificant. That's what rape is about. And sexual assault, it's not about what you wear. Because if that were the case, people would not rape babies. They would not rape elderly women. They would not do those things if it was about a sexual conquest. See, that's the misconception of sexual assault and rape, is that people think that it's about sex, and it's not. How humiliating is it to be in a dance club full of people with exposed while some man is fondling and grinding on you, and you have no control to do anything to stop it, or to scream, or to make noise to tell people that you're being harmed. That's about control, domination, humiliation. That has nothing to do with sex. Nothing. This person is sick. And there's allegedly 4 other women that are supposedly coming forth. So this is going to be real good. Real good. So toxic female adaptation is when you get a whole bunch of women that will side on the base of, well, she shouldn't have been dressed like that. Well, why did she go by herself? Well, why would you get a drink from a stranger? Look, how many relationships started in the United States because a strange woman met a strange man and he bought her a drink at that time that they met? Plenty of people are married today because 2 strangers met and one bought the other a drink. That's not uncommon here. That's utterly ridiculous. Now, what I will say is that her poor choice came in when she didn't get the drink with him directly, not allowing him to bring the drink to her. That was a really poor choice, because you see what happens when you allow somebody that kind of freedom. They will take advantage. In not all cases, but in this case, it did, and it ended really badly. You know, unfortunately, this girl wasn't given the type of upbringing where she had people invested in her to tell her, listen, when you do this, you do this. And when you go here, you do this. And when you go there, you do this. And she wasn't given that. You could tell. You could tell that this young woman didn't have, and she wasn't equipped with what she needed. She was too trusting. She was too gullible. She was too naive. She was just turning up for her birthday. She didn't even think that it can result in all the things that it resulted into. So when you have these toxic female, it's right there, adaptations, and they align with these perpetrators, that just goes to show how they've been so brainwashed into the toxic masculinity. Now, this is another thing. So being raped. So let me just give some clarity on being raped. And I have statistics too, and I'm going to post a website for anybody who wants this information about rape and who to contact, and the statistics. They can look it up for themselves because I have them. Okay, so let me tell you something about energy, because I'm a Reiki master, which means I learned about how to transfer energy for healing purposes, for a lot of different things. Healing the past, healing the present. And I want to say healing the present, but putting a positive light on the present, especially if you have dates coming up that you want a positive light around, and if you want something in the back that was very traumatic and painful, if you want help alleviating some of that that hurt and pain and that energy around that area, I can do that as well. I do long distance Reiki and things of that nature. So let me get to my point. Energy. So Reiki is very much about energy. It's the purpose of healing, is healing energy. So once you've been raped, you now carry an energy that's different. You carry an energy where you'll attract more people to you to harm you. It's just like anything else. Money follows money, right? So if you have money that's flowing and flowing and flowing, money follows money. So it'll keep flowing as long as that energy of money is still there to keep flowing, right? Okay. Negativity follows negativity. So you know how you might wake up and stump your toe, and then after you stump your toe, you go to go brush your teeth, and you hit yourself in the eye, and your day just starts to go downhill. And then so it might, you're so upset about what happened, then you go downstairs and you fall down the last 2 steps in your house, and then you get up and you're pissed off now, and then you go to drink some coffee and you spill it on your shirt. It's like negativity will follow negativity as long as you're in the same energy, in the same mind space. Oh my God. So negativity will follow negativity. The same thing with rape energy. The same thing with patterns. It's a pattern. It becomes a pattern. So if you have a pattern of not even a pattern, if you have the energy of being raped, there's a very good possibility you will be raped again or sexually assaulted at minimum. And that's just how energy works. Until you're able to heal that space, then that will change. But until then, you have to do work in order to clean up that energy, so that way you don't repeat that cycle and you don't attract the same type of person. I mean, it happens in relationships every day. We get in one relationship, we get out, get in with someone else, and it's like, this is the same damn person. Different face, different name, but the same damn person. Yeah, because that energy isn't cleaned up. Until you can clean up that energy, you're going to keep attracting the same type of person. So let's talk now the cyberbullying. I can't believe adults have cyberbullied this woman. I can't believe adults have cyberbullied this woman. And even if you don't agree with what happened, if you can't say something nice, then don't say anything at all. We know she's unstable. And especially after this, she's really unstable. She's really unstable. We've seen the videos with she and her husband where he said he's abusive towards her. He's cheating on her. This young lady has been through a lot in her life. You can tell. And it's not been good. It's not been good. So to know what we know now, to see the kind of patterns that she has in her life, where's the empathy? The female, I love this term. I'm going to keep using it. Toxic female adaptation. Maybe I should call it toxic female to male adaptation. Maybe that makes more sense. I'll think about it. Maybe somebody could clarify that for me. Toxic female to male adaptation. Maybe that makes more sense. It's where the female is she's adapting to become more male-like in her thoughts. It's like, it's a bad version of Wonder Twins. If you was born in the 70s, like I was, and in the 80s, Wonder Twin powers activate in the form of a bucket of water. Two fucking buckets of water. That's what they form. Oh, my God. So, I digress. Let me get back to this. 2 damn buckets of water. Okay, so according to the National Sexual Violence Resource Center. So this is the National Sexual Violence Resource Center, and the website is nsvrc.org. So I'm going to say it again. N as in Nancy, S as in Sam, V as in Victor, R as in Robert, C as in Candy, .org, right? So according to their statistics in the U.S., in the United States, 1 out of 5 women and 1 out of 71 men will be raped at some point in their lives. Let's take that in for a minute. 1 out of 5 women will be raped. Now, as women, we make up more of the population. But more of us are being raped. Can you do the numbers on that? Do the numbers. 1 out of 5. See, this is the thing. I think because it's so underreported and it's so undervalued, or women are just undervalued. It's like going from hip hop to rap. You know, when we were in the hip hop period, it was about unity and self-love and self-worth and, you know, ladies first and having respect and dear mama too. You a B, you a hoe, you a this, you a that, you ain't got nothing, you ain't about nothing, give me what you got, all you got is some booty, that's it, shake it in the club, throw some dollars on it, you ain't about, your worth is nothing. It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking to see a genre of music that was ours, and it's not even ours anymore. It's now rap, which is straight garbage. We have gone from the pure essence of hip hop to now rap, where it's just commercial, it's a bunch of garbage, there's no content, you know, the love for it, you don't even feel the love for it in the music. You don't even feel the love. Where's the love? Where's the love for it? Where is it? Now, me saying that is garbage, I'm not saying all artists are garbage. I'm just saying what you hear, the majority of, is garbage. That I'll put everything on. So, let me continue. 1 in 3 women and 1 in 6 men will experience a violent sexual assault. Let's let that sink in. 1 in 3 women and 1 in 6 men will experience a violent sexual assault. 1 in 4 girls and 1 in 6 boys will experience a molestation. 91% of all sexual assaults and rapes are on women. 9% are on men. 91% is on women. 91%. So, you know what that does? That opens up the can of how many of these men actually think that they're good men when they've actually crossed boundaries. They've crossed boundaries. And maybe that's why they defend the likes of this person. I'm not going to even say his name. If I could put up the puke emoji right now, I would. You know, I always wonder about the men that go so hard for men that they know violate women. You know, if it's, you know, I learned a quote when I was in elementary school, and I still remember this quote. And this man was an alcoholic, and you know what his quote was? 1 drink was too much, and 1,000 drinks will never be enough. And in elementary school, I never knew what that meant. I didn't understand what that meant. But as an adult, I know what that means. If you rape 1 woman, that's way too much. And 1,000, well, by the time you get to 1,000, it will never be enough. It will never be enough. You'll have to continue to feed the need of sickness. Because once again, to rape someone is not about a sexual act. They might perform a sexual act, but it's not about a sexual act. It's about controlling, dominating, and humiliating. So, and in order for people to separate, because I'm hearing a lot too that people want to keep, and I find this to be crazy. You want to keep her character and the crime together. Let's think about that, because as Black people, we're subjected to that all the time. That's why I find this so baffling. You know, we've had countless, let me not even say numerous, countless murders in our community by the police. There's no way around that. We've had countless murders. Let's talk about where the police originated in 1865. They were the original enslavement catchers. So they had a purpose, which was to catch enslaved beings and return them back to their plantation. And dead or alive. Some were dead or alive, and they got paid and compensated for it. So now you have these people, you have this thing that's morphed and it's grown bigger and more powerful, and it's in our communities, and we see how they take us down, and they've taken us down. My thing is, it appears that a victim has to be damn near angelic in order for her to be believed, even if it's on camera. What? You mean I could be sexually assaulted on camera and that's still not enough for people to acknowledge that I was sexually assaulted? Maybe even raped? Yeah. That's why I'm making this video, because some of this stuff is totally unbelievable. I gotta laugh to keep from crying. That's how unbelievable this stuff is. But let's take this a step further. When Sandra Bland was pulled over and she spoke her piece, did she deserve to die in jail? When she spoke to that cop and he ended up taking her in over a ticket, when all he had to do was just write her a ticket. But his racist ass hauled her into jail, where she ended up dead. No. What about Trayvon Martin? So wearing his hoodie, he deserved to die at the hands of Zimmerman? I don't even want to say that name. Blah! And the countless others. Eric Gardner, where a chokehold that had been outlawed for 20 years in New York City was performed on this man, and they killed him. So for selling cigarettes, he deserved to lose his life. Like, some of this stuff, y'all really have to ask yourself these questions. You really have to. You know. So I say that to say this. Assassinating her character is no different what the police do to us. It's no different from what Euro supremacy does to us. And here we are. We've taken on the same ideology and we disseminate it against each other. That's sick. As if it justifies having a crime committed against you. That's really sick. It's really, really sick. So we need to learn how to separate poor choices from crimes. You cannot put her in the same category with him because she didn't commit a crime. It's not like she drugged him and she took advantage of him on the dance floor. It's not, even if she was drunk. Let's say she wasn't drunk. Let's say, oh, that's right, it's a lemon. It's a lemon in the glass. Let's say it's a lemon. Hypothetically, let's say it's a lemon. I personally thought I saw a pill and it looked rather blue. But that could have been the lighting, but it looked like a little round pill. So let's say it wasn't a pill. Let's say it was a lemon. right? And let's say she was sloppy drunk. Still doesn't deserve to be assaulted. So what? So what? She had no underwear on. So what? She got up there and twerked. So what? So what? She got sloppy drunk. So what? So what? Does that mean she deserved to be assaulted? Absolutely not. One has nothing to do with the other. Now, did she make herself more vulnerable because of those things? Of course she did. Of course she did. But she did not deserve to be raped or sexually assaulted. At all. She did not deserve to be sexually assaulted. So let's make that clear. Let's make this separation very clear. She did not deserve to be sexually assaulted, regardless to the poor choices she made, regardless to how she was dressed, regardless to what she did. She did not deserve that. Once again, I'm going to bring this to a close because now it's on 31 minutes. My name is Khadijah K. Shepherd. I'm a self-love coach. I'm a domestic violence awareness specialist. I am a holistic practitioner, an author, and quite a few other things. And I'm definitely an advocate for survivors of rape and trauma and abuse. This was abuse. So if you need to contact me, I will leave all my information for you. Love and light. I wish everyone well. I hope this shed light on some things. I'm not going to be one for debating back and forth with people. I'm not doing it. If you don't like my opinion, keep it pushing. It's fine. I gave you statistics. You know, whether you take it, you take it. If you don't, you don't. But I hope that I gave you enough information for you to think about. Because at any point in time, that could have been you, your sister, your cousin, your daughter. Just think, we're only separated by 6 degrees of separation. And I wonder if you would feel the same way if people attacked you or your daughter or your cousin or your sister in the way this young woman was attacked. So once again, with that, have a good night. Take care. Be blessed. Love each other. Love yourself first. Self-love, self-worth. I have a program that's called the Authentically Rich Mastermind Group. And if you're interested, hit me up at authenticallyyours2017@gmail.com or on Instagram at authenticallyyours2017. Or, yeah. Thank you. Take care. God bless. Good night.